He's going to use this to basically say that the concept of bidda is something that needs interpretation. It's not clear what bidda is. And this is pretty much true, right? But to use that as, so he's kind of setting himself up, really, because he's saying, we don't know what it is. That's pretty much what that boils down to. We don't know what it is. We need to interpret it. Okay. Because it's not clear. That's what he's setting up. It's not clear. So we'll get to the end of that. But if you're setting up something that's not clear, that means it's open to interpretation. That means there could be different opinions, which he gets into a little bit. There's different opinions and understanding of what it is. That's what so even though you may present a position of what bidda is and what bidda isn't, you have already conceded that your interpretation could be wrong.
The conversation of bid'ah is self-evident because our teachers taught.
And this was a big one. This is a big one. It's a big contradiction. Big contradiction. He says, and I'll rewind it a little bit so you can hear it. Well, let's play it again.
We have to appreciate language. The conversation of bid'ah is self-evident.
He said the conversation or the concept of bidda, I think he meant concept, the concept of bidda is self-evident. So what does self-evident mean? Self-evident mean that it's obvious. It's just true without any need of interpretation, right? Very close to the meaning of it's literal, right? It's clear. So when you're talking about stuff that needs interpretation and stuff versus clear, when you say bidda is self-evident, that means you're saying bidda is clear. It's easy to understand. Everybody's going to come to the same understanding of what bidda is because it's self-evident, right? As long as you understand the meaning of the word. So if you understand the meaning of the words, then it becomes self-evident. Which, okay, that means it's clear. That means all that discussion about stuff being general and being specific and being clear versus unclear, that's out the window because you're saying bidda is clear. All you just have to understand what actual bidda is. Okay, so that's a big issue with him, with his presentation of, setup for all this, and then to actually say bidda is self-evident.
Because our teachers taught us the method on how you think about evidences. But if a person doesn't understand the method, you don't appreciate.
So again, you can't say something is self-evident and that it needs evidences. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you're saying something is self-evident, that means it's an evidence itself. It needs no evidence, right? Self-evident. Look at the word self-evident, self-evidence. It's its own evidence. Okay. So you can't say something is self-evident and then say, once you understand the methodology and you understand the evidences, then you understand it. That's something that is not self-evident because you have to understand the methodology. You have to understand the evidences to come to the conclusion of what that actually means.
You don't appreciate language and you treat the Quran and the Sunnah as something any layperson can access. Of course, you're not going to understand.
Again, here's more digs at people that don't agree with his interpretation or understanding of what bid'ah is, right? It's just another dig. And then the audience, if you're not careful, if you're not paying attention to what he's doing with these words, he's basically getting you to think a certain way because what? You're in the audience, you're listening. If you're not thinking right, if you're not being a good listener, of course, the people that are listening are going to think like, no, I don't want to be a simpleton. I don't want to be superficial.